The Sharks finally play a game in their home state. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. Let's talk about a Sharks victory right now on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is Friday night, February 5th, 2021. It's the debut of Huntington Beach native Sasha Chmelevski as the Sharks beat up the Ducks 5-4 in a shootout. Welcome to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. We do this after every single game, home or away. We're glad to have you back. It's been a while since we had a game. Chat with us and fellow Sharks fans, and I see Jeff Ponder from Let's Go Blues Radio. So all hockey fans, welcome on in worldwide and chat with us and everybody on the page or the app. Of course, follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord, and of course find everything at tealtownusa.com. Hi, everyone. You have the Eriks here, myself, Erik Kuhre, alongside a guy who also spells his name the right way, and that's Kuhre and Landi.
Yeah. Hey, Buckeye, what's up? Feels like it's been a hot second.
It's been a while since the Sharks got to play a game, and they're slowly getting back home. I mean, thankfully, after an 8-game straight on the road trip, 35 days away from home, they got to get some home cooking for for about a few days before they continue their road trip. And, I was tweeting Uncle Darren Stevens at Shark Stats on Twitter to get an answer. And actually, Sharks president Jonathan Becker confirmed it. This is a continuation of the road trip. So the Sharks are on game 9 of an NHL record 12-game road trip. I mean, at least the last 4 games will be in their home state, Landi.
It's a joke. It really is. I mean, I feel like the whole season has just been a hope and a prayer insofar as scheduling and insofar as playing the darn games.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. At what point do you just start to call out a 2-week pause, or what, just something like that, because quite honestly, this schedule is so horrendous. I mean, they've got to, I mean, I'm wondering if maybe the PA, the NHL PA will file a grievance or something with the amount of travel that the team has had to do,
Go ahead. Sorry. Continue on.
No, I mean, it's a record, 12 games on the road.
Well,
and I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure that they've got, well, maybe they don't have some kind of collective bargained, number of home games or number of weeks away they can be from their families. But geez, I knew the schedule maker hated us, but
well, I mean, the tough part is that, Santa Clara County didn't help things, and that's why the NHL scheduled them with 8 games on the road, and they finally got that okayed. Otherwise, they would have been staying in Scottsdale. And you would have had those 2 games in Glendale, thankfully, but instead, they got to go home. They played on the center rink at Solar for America Ice before they went down to Anaheim yesterday. But my goodness, it's tough to see, but we were hoping for good things out of this game, and we kind of got things going early on. You saw Nieto get a goal, which I think we should make sure it's the Beach Boy line, I guess is what we're calling them. Long Beach native Nat Nieto gets his 3rd of the season from I'm not sure what part of of Sweden Marcus Sorensen is, but maybe he's on a beach somewhere. And then Huntington Beach native Sasha Chmelevski making his NHL debut finally. Gets an assist on this goal to make it 1-0. I thought it was a nice play to get it up to Sorensen, and Sorensen fed it over to Nieto for the goal. And I thought the Sharks looked really good early on in the first period, but overall in the whole period, I thought they looked pretty good.
Uh, yeah, that first period looked pretty good. I thought tonight the best line on the ice was the Nieto Sorensen Chmelevski line. I just felt like that line was the one that was buzzing all night and really looked like I don't know. They to me they were the consistent forward group I saw, shift in, shift out, because boy, I do have some things to say about that second period.
We'll get there. With it being Beach Boys theme, wouldn't it be nice to see more goals after 20 minutes? But 17-8 the shots. I thought the Sharks looked really good. At one point, it was 7-0 in favor of San Jose, showing how much the rest would play for them and not have anything COVID worried about it. You kind of look at it and like thinking, okay, cool, all things are good. And then the second period happened. I mean, you had LeBanc taking a penalty like not even a half a minute in, and then it just get all down there. They score 3 goals. Anaheim scores 3 goals. You got Henrique scoring off of a face-off, which contributes to the face-off issues that the Sharks have had. You talk about Troy Terry. I don't know if it's defensive positioning on that one, or Cummins-Waugh, which I thought Jones isn't hugging the post, So, I mean, I'll let you go on a run here, Landy. But your thoughts on that second period?
Oh boy, I mean,
oh boy, here we go.
where do we start? I mean, let's just talk about, first off, this defense core is so inconsistent right now. I mean, it is so bipolar, and meaning I think they have the offensive tools, to really do some damage, but they're not taking care of their own zone, Kuhre. I mean, really, Vlasic is making rookie level mistakes out there. Carlson, there are times he'll flash his speed, and then there are times he'll just be like, I'll sit this one out and drink some iced tea, guys, on the bench. I mean, or maybe actually I shouldn't say that. He's drinking iced tea out there on the ice because he's still logging, close to 30 minutes a game. So, why not? But I don't know what it's going to take for these guys to figure out their own defensive zone coverages. I really don't, because they're just busting assignments in their own zone, and that's just a lack of mental discipline there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that's on my mind in that second period is, guys, it's a problem. That having the far side change is giving you issues. Please take 15 seconds off of your shift.
Yep.
Really, you've got to realize that in the second period, you can't be stuck out there for a minute and 30, minute and 45 seconds. You're gonna get eaten alive.
Right.
And it's just like they know the differential in the second period, and yet they still continue to act like divas on the ice and not changing with regularity. It's frustrating, Kuhre. I mean. Yeah. It really is.
No, I've mentioned it on the show before. It's like when you play NHL 21, we'll call it, and you're always skating up ice every time you play, and then you're playing an opponent, and then all of a sudden, oh crap, I got to play the other way for the second period. It's like that. It's like they lose what they are taught in the second period. I mean, like I said, the shots were 17-8 after the first period. By the end of the second period, they were getting outshot 21-20 to Anaheim. And to have 3 goals like that, you have the defensive breakdowns, you have just bone-dead moves. And then, we'll get to talking about the power play, which is now 1 for 26. I mean, it's just, there's little things there where it's like, come on, guys. you guys are better than this. It's not like you can just go down one thing and then it's going to be, you know. And you know what, Chris? You make a great point, and keep reiterating when you see mental mistakes and miscues team wide, that's coaching. Um,
So is it so then is it on the coaching staff then that these guys are not I think shift length really is not a coaching staff thing. That's on the individual
and,
players.
but at the same time, I think you look at that. I agree with you on that. Where if you need to get that puck out and clear it out to get those changes, but you can't leave your defense, which I think was on for one of the goals, over a minute and a half.
Yeah. No, and Erik, that's why I was saying the Sorensen, Nieto, and Chmelevski line was the best line tonight because they rarely got hemmed in their zone. They were changing frequently, and honestly, I mean, had some of the better back checks in the game.
Yeah.
And for a team that is close to dead last in offense, I think the last time I checked it was 28th place. Like that you're not going to get a lot of goals. You've got to clamp down.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I still see the center position being a real big hole for this team. You're missing a key center on this team, and where's Hurdle? Where has he been?
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is where's Hurdle, where's Meyer. We're hearing, we're waiting for some quotes to come out of the presser, but a lot of fire getting thrown out about Hurdle's line tonight, about a couple of defensemen being bad. Bugner is not mincing words despite the victory tonight, but kind of going.
You know what? You know what, Erik? I mean, Puck Guy. I mean,
yeah, you're good.
If he really wants to impress me at this point, ride Vlasic on the pine. Yep, ride Carlson on the pine. And good on Evander Kane for getting a goal tonight. And really showing up with the body. But goddamn, I mean, Hurdle, use your big ass. Yep. That's why you have it.
Burnsy's got the big butt.
Matt Hinkie, perfect in the chat. Timo played tonight? Question mark. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's.
I couldn't have put it better.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and M. Kohler 39-14. Meyer's been MIA for 2 seasons practically. Timo is starting to get ridiculous. He needs to get his together. I mean, there's a number of things. I mean, Hurdle had that post shot late in the third period. And it's gonna be tough. I mean, it's gonna be tough. But messages need to be sent that whatever you're doing right now isn't going to be acceptable. And to have this continue on. I mean, come on. You said it was being out in Arizona and on the road for over a month. You said it was the long road trip. Now you got some home cooking. You got a week off because Vegas got COVID. I mean, it's like, come on, man.
No excuses. No excuses. And I'm just looking at it tonight. Erik, perfect example of what I'm talking about here. Kevin LeBanc, 18 minutes time of ice. He had over 3 minutes of power play time. Erik, you know what he is? He's a -2. 0 shots on goal.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And I don't know if it's just he's gripping the stick a little too tight or, he's just deferring. But come on. I mean, dude, 18 minutes of ice time and you're a -2 with 0 shots on goal and you're quote unquote, a driver on this team, or you're supposed to be.
Yep.
This team looks comfortable. They look comfortable in mediocrity.
Well, and if they keep it going, they're going to be in mediocrity for quite some time. Trying to get caught up in the chat while you're doing that. Yeah, I mean Jerry F saying given their play in the second periods when the Sharks get to their first home opener, they need to skate out of the Shark head. Also at the beginning of the second period, so they think it's the first. I mean, whatever it takes. I think honestly to get that up. I mean, Kevin mentioning it again. Split in flames in his post game presser. Love it more than honesty in the entirety of PDP's put together. That's the thing. Is you gotta be like, yeah, you're happy that you got the victory. You're happy you had to do it, but something must have been said in between the second and third periods, because the Sharks kind of jumped out on with the foot on the gas pedal, and I think it was really nice to see. You get like a 39 seconds, and Logan Couture gets play from Kane and Burns to give you hope to make it 3-2 Anaheim. Then you get into Knizhov getting a penalty right off the draw, so you're like, oh man, here we go again. We're just killing our own momentum here. Thankfully, the PK was on it tonight. They didn't allow Anaheim to score anything. But then right after that, Kane with the pickup streets down the ice. I thought it was a great shot by Kaner to tie this game up at 3-3, going stick side on a great goalie. And Bugner even said it, the best player on the Ducks, John Gibson. What did you take from the game tying goal from Kaner?
I mean, Kaner has been in it tough the last 3 or 4 games, and it was just good to see him, really motor to the net and really kind of score like he did, in the first game when he was bowling to the net. And, the kid has got so much speed. He's got the tools to be an incredible player, and I'm glad that he brought in that third period. And he was physical all night, and one of the best Sharks forwards on the night tonight.
Getting quotes now coming in from the locker room from Logan Couture. We play well for a spurt, and then we stink it up for a spurt. We're not doing enough of a job creating energy when the other team gets momentum. I mean, great for the honesty, but here's my thing. If you know that, do something about it. And if you know about it, get the other guys on your team wearing the white jerseys tonight, get their butts in gear, because it's I mean, this is rough. And I see a lot of people giving Vlasic some stuff in the chat.
Over.
Vlasic needs to be delivering pizzas in the press box if he can do that right now. Vlasic should sit a game. That was pathetic. Send a message. Skylar saying, man, Burns' press conference is so angry. When you see guys like Donato and Nieto and youngsters coming in with speed, that should spark the rest a little. One would think. One's not skating had noticed that. And LD Shark, you make a good point. Kane player of the game, and he didn't take any penalties tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Kane came out with some gusto. He assisted on the Couture goal to cut it within one. He gets that tying goal. Burns gets in there with Donato, who Donato, I mean, everything.
You can't ask more for that kid that kid. I mean, always motoring, always.
For all the stuff Doug Wilson's getting right now for what he has on this roster, Ryan Donato is looking like, like a great pickup for the Sharks.
Eric, you know what? Ryan Donato looks like a captain. Logan Couture, on the other hand, I'm not so impressed right now.
Couture, yeah, I mean he got the goal tonight. He got a goal tonight, but I mean Couture has been struggling himself. As I'm trying to pull up his game log here, I mean he had a goal and assist in Colorado, but prior to tonight in his last 5 games, that's it. and he needs to be one of those guys that makes that jump.
The keys were handed over to him. Literally, the keys are handed over to him. It's his team now. He needs to act like he gives a damn about leading this team. Like I don't see. He's got to learn that there are a time and place for the rod, and there's a time and place for the carrot, right?
Yep.
And I think that was what Joe Pavelski just had in heaps. He could read his room. He knew when to poke the boys, and he knew when to, like, hey, you know what? Let's cheer up. We got this the next time. There was a guy who loved the game. You saw it every time he scored. He was humble, but he was also just a lead by example guy. But not only that, he was vocal. I don't see that from Couture. And quite frankly, that scares me.
And you would think that would have been the case, considering how he is with the media. How he just goes out there and is very frank. I mean, I kind of, it reminded me a little bit of Dan Boyle, per se, where he was quite honest with the media, and you just thinking, well, I would think he's doing that in the locker room, so, and it's tough, and now that it's kind of like you and granted Marlowe's back and Burns is there, and so they've been there around for a while, but Pavs is gone, Jumbo's gone, so those two leaders were there while kind of Couture was like, yeah, what they said, but we'll see what happens here. Continuing on,
it just seems like the whole team is beset by Erik Karlsson mentality. When it's like, okay, I'll play when I want to play. You know what I mean? And I'm the only guy that I'm seeing right now that's really giving a damn every game has been Mario Ferraro and Ryan Donato. Those are the two most consistent players on this team. And if I had a team full of Mario Ferraros and Ryan Donatos, you might do very well.
Yeah. But that's what you need, and the other guys need to focus it. And all things considered, this schedule is not going to get any better, folks. I mean, this is the beginning of their first of 12 back-to-backs on the season. They are playing 47 games in the next 91 nights. So glad you got the victory. Granted, you had a 4-3 lead after being down 3-1 after playing another sloppy second period. Comtois gets a nice goal, midway through the third to tie the game up. I thought, there was a great play 2-on-1 with Hertl and Gregor, and Hertl hit the post. You could just see the frustration on Hertl when he hit that post shot. They just need one guy to just keep sticking out and getting that spark. And no disrespect to Ryan Donato, because you're right, him and Ferraro, you give a little bit to Burnsy. Hell, throw it to Gambrell. If you haven't seen the interview that AJ did with Gambrell, I think check it out. But I think those guys are doing it. The other guys need to get a stick out of their butts and let's go. Let's freaking go. But as for overtime, I thought, these guys, they went back and forth. I thought they had some nice creative chances. Definitely playing around. Of course, Donato takes that high sticking call, which was rough. I think that's probably like one of his first of, if maybe not even a handful of errors that Donato's had this season. So
yeah.
I look at that, but I thought Jones had a good overtime.
This isn't on goaltending. This isn't. I think that the effort has been there with both goaltenders. I've seen just the technical play of the two goalies have been good. I'm not seeing the shrunken shoulders. I'm seeing a lot of battle.
Right.
Just on the shootout. and just how Martin Jones has just seemed to slow the game down for himself. He's not back there kind of all twidgety, and worrying about, puck control or anything. He's
Right.
just playing with his instincts, slowing the game down. He's going to give up mistakes. Yes. He's going to want one or two back. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think the biggest thing back there is just to have a steady guy.
Yeah.
Now, this breakdown that we're seeing is, to me, it's lack of effort and mental effort from the defenseman first, and then from the wingers are just not providing enough back checkout. Like I said, outside of Sorensen, Nieto, in the top six, let's just say that in the top six and Meyer, I have not seen enough effort in the back checks, and just the defensive structure overall from the forwards.
Yep.
Something to be lacking for sure.
If you'd like to sponsor tonight's wraparound, send your donation at Teal Town USA on Venmo. Of course, you can use a super chat, but we do prefer Venmo as your way. We have 51 people in here right now. So first of all, tell your friends on social media to join us. Get those likes up. We need more than 15. Come on, we need at least 25, 26, likes on here for sure. But I like how Jones had those two great saves. He had like a couple of great saves. Actually, yeah, two great saves by Jones, especially on the second shooter for the shootout. I mean, I thought that puck was going in, and he comes back with such a great. Wow, look at those likes coming now.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, granted, Jones 892 save percentage on the night. I mean, he stopped 33 of 37 shots on this night for an 892.
I just got to answer Chris real quick. He asks, why did 10 to 15 professional players stop putting in effort?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why, Chris. They got paid a lot of money. They're comfortable.
And with how some of the contracts are made now, they get them in bonuses, and so most of it comes in on July 1st or whenever the new year begins. So they already have it in there. There's one I never thought I'd see. Put Balsers in for Marleau, for the love of God. I mean, shoot. Marleau did jump up to the second line tonight. Didn't see too much from him, but we should say, and I have some fancy graphics too, to share. Sasha Shemilevsky becomes the fourth Shark to be born in California to play for Team Teal, joining Craig Cox, who's got the first goal in Sharks history. Scott Parker, the guy who responded with the fist and jump over the glass to go after. I think it was Brendan Witt of Nashville. Of course, we know Long Beach native Matt Nieto came to town, and then of course Shemilevsky here. But of course, speaking of Marleau tonight, he does pass Ron Francis on the all-time most regular season games played list. He is now number 5. He will tie Jaromir Jagr tomorrow at 1733, and slowly moving up there. But I see some comments about Patty. He had a giveaway and a takeaway in 1539. So I'm not going to get on Patty too much, considering he's 40 something. So
yeah.
But we do have a super chat donation from Hockey Mom. She seems pretty awesome. It's Couture's responsibility. Do you remember the game where Quick went down the line and bumped sticks with each player and then went on to turn things around the next minute?
Oh, she's talking about the reverse sweep. Oh God, why would you bring that up, mother? Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, you can just see the way that Quick, was a leader on that team, and knew when to rally his troops or whatever. And I don't think Couture does that enough. I think he can give you an analytical perspective for sure, but it's the motivating his troops that I'm worried about with him.
Yeah. Choo Choo Train, Booger needs to put Couture, Meyer, Hurdle, Bank, Carlson, Vlasic on the third or fourth line, or the young players and the vets who've been playing great. I mean, been doing all these shows all season long when we've been raving about more so the third and fourth line. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I think that they've been the bottom six has been more consistent with its effort than the top six has. The top six has just been hot and cold, bipolar, anemic, whatever you want to call it. But there is, I don't know, there's just a mixed problem here, I think, Eric. I really do. I think they just don't have the proper mix of players.
Mhm.
And I think their higher paid players are, again, I think, yeah, look, Erik Karlsson was in Ottawa for a long time and quite frankly was a loser for a long time in Ottawa.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? There were some, the Ottawa Senators were as bipolar of a franchise as you can get. So they would be extreme highs, but my goodness, there would be extreme lows in Ottawa. And I don't know that he's learned how to win. And learning how to win means consistency night in, night out.
Yeah.
And as a leader on your team, if that's the way that you're going to play, the others around you, your peers, are going to emulate that.
Yeah. And that's the tough part. You have, which causes people to think after that second period, start like Sleepy Mofas and suck for the number one overall pick. Do you start cutting Vlasic's time on ice? You wonder about things that happen in the off season. I don't want to get into all the stuff that went through, good and bad, for some of these players, but the emotions and getting into things. And I think, like AJ mentioned, I think he asked it to Gambrell yesterday. Is it kind of like that 8-game road trip was kind of like your preseason per se? Now you get that break, that week break, and now you start fresh and new. And it looked like that was the case early on,
Yeah.
and then just the hiccups. So out of all that, out of all,
Yeah, Kevin Lacey cut time on Vlasic's time on us for who? I don't know. I think Konechov has been playing better.
yeah, I mean, you've already upped Ferraro's time on ice. I mean, Ferraro's been great. I think it, you know, and AJ on. It's so fun to hear people come to my EK65 point of view. Welcome on the bus. Uh,
No, I mean, I think I've always been concerned about his level of effort. And I think I've been concerned about when he becomes disinterested in the game, he just looks too comfortable out there. And then oh my gosh, Eric, he can really turn on the Jets when he wants to. You saw him coming down that right side wing. He wound up that big old slap shot that he's got, and he's aiming for Gibson's head, and Gibson makes a great blocker save. But where has that Erik Karlsson been game in and game out?
yeah,
Where has that been shift in, shift out? It's so bad. He can be the worst player on the ice in a period, or he could be the best player in the NHL for a period.
right.
It's maddening, and he doesn't even do the little things right, like body checks or stick checking or back checking all that well. So you're basically wanting him to be an offensive dynamo, and he can't even do that consistently.
And that's the tough part. Is that What is he here for? Is he here to be a defenseman, or is he here to be a offensive-minded defenseman who occasionally plays defense? That is where EK69 can be, the spellbinding of it all, and that's where we got to go for it. Anywho, with that, the wraparound, we're almost to the point where we can call it something else if we get 7 more likes. Has been funded by your mom, which
I love the
if we call it the other if we call it the other way, it's kind of weird that would be sponsored by your mom. So,
No, I just like the little incentives. We dangle the carrot there. Enough likes and we'll call it. We'll do the segment. Enough money, and we'll call it the right way. So,
right,
we're gonna leave you.
We'll see how it goes, but for right now, we will call it the wraparound.
Have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
I played the wrong video. It's wraparound, people. Let's get to these really quick. Bruins beat the Flyers in comeback fashion again, 2-1. That one, former Shark prospect Sean Corrali scores the 2 Bruins goals in 27 seconds to get the victory in that one. Corrali with the second on the season. I think he's getting close to matching Hurdle goals. Or for that matter, Meyer.
Yeah, and I love how the Sharks are so good at drafting college players and then just either letting them walk or, not even playing them like a Nick Bonino.
Hey,
don't you just love that?
Just remember, Sean Corrali got us Martin Jones. Oh, okay. Moving onward.
Do you really want to be revealing that?
Tampa Bay, rocking their beautiful blue reverse retros, gets a win 3-1. Former Shark Barclay Goodrow with 2 goals on the night, including a knuckle puck that went past former Shark Thomas Grice.
Oh, look, another one. Another former Shark doing great.
Let's address this really quick. For 75 likes, we make Puck Guy smile the whole time and not correct anyone.
I think maybe at 75 likes he'll pull out Vancouver.
Oh, don't no. Come on, we got 40 more likes to go if that's the case. Come on. Florida beats the Predators 2-1 in that one. Barkov, man, if there was either Barkov or Huberdeau, if you can get either one of those two out of Florida, that would have been nice. But moving onward, the Kings lose to the Vegas Golden Knights 5-2. Mark Stone jumping on there. Mucho Salt, a goal with him as well. And there, Marc-Andre Fleury with the victory in that one. And that is it for we're at 35, so 36 for the wraparound.
4 more, and it could have been something special,
yeah,
but y'all's gotta screw it up for us.
Kevin Lacey, totally agreed about Bonino. Yay, Kent Huskins. You're welcome, Kevin, for that one. Rob Hyman for 100 likes. Puck Guy drinks Cokes on the air. Hey, I could do that right now, but then I have to sponsor it. That's all I'm saying. So, all right. So, good news is Sharks have a game tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Is that good? I mean, honestly, I'm kind of scared to see what they come out like tomorrow.
We are on a 1-game, I'm on the team. The Sharks are on a 1-game winning streak. They are 1-0 essentially in their time zone, really, and in their state. Of course, 1-0 under the Drew Remenda out there. Now we hit it, of course. Well, you're a little late there.
No. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. You got to do it before the segment, people. Before the segment. And that one dislike, boo on YouTube.
Yeah, whatever. Do you get the did you get the I know you're in San Diego, so you kind of get Fox Sports prime ticket. I know. You have
No,
to deal
no,
with Brian
dude.
Hayward. Do you get the feed for San Jose?
Oh hell yeah. Daddy's using a DNS server, baby.
So, what did you think of the return of Drew Remenda tonight?
I mean, can we have nice things? Is that a thing?
I would think
mean,
so.
I feel like this is too nice.
I mean, shoot.
I mean,
Look at that beauty that's going to be coming up soon. I mean, that's a nice thing, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, he has been the thing that has been missing from my Sharks telecast for the last, 6 years. And I'm sorry, Hasso, but really, grow a backbone, dude. I mean, like if you got the beef with Drew, you got to know that your fan base will adore you, and your fan base will give you a pass on the season if you just bring him home. Just bring him home. Okay? We'll be happy. That's all I'll take from this season, Erik. I'll say that this season's a total success if we can get Drew Remenda back.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I will say this: our audio is better than his audio, though.
Yeah, dude. Drew,
come on.
Step up your game, bro.
I mean, you have AJ's number. Give him a call to help you get things set up. I will say this: I love the chirping that Randy Hahn gave him when they were transitioning over to the broadcast teams. Like, hey, Drew knows how to figure out FaceTime. and
I think he was on Zoom because he had his little name tag at the bottom left-hand corner.
But what I found funny, is that, and then with Drew's clues, they put him in the corner. It's like, wow, we're really pushing this Remenda here. We're putting him in the corner while you're blocking one of the spot shadows that he's trying to describe. Oh man,
I just love his Bay Area Emmys just hovering over the picture.
Yeah. No.
I mean, honestly, those two they were like the Sedin twins, but from other mothers. It was just beautiful on the ears. It was like magic every time they touched the hot microphone together. Like honestly, I look, Hetty, you're doing a fine job. Yeah. Jamie, we miss you, bro.
Right.
I mean, honestly, hope everything is okay, and hope you come back to the Sharks fam soon. And get everything gets settled in your life. But I mean, I think honestly, there's two things that endear me to Drew. First off, he was a commentator that never lied to you.
Yep.
He always tells it like it is. He knew that he treated the fan base like they should be treated, like they have had a team for 30 years and know how hockey is played. And he catered to the sophisticated hockey person. But the other thing that's maybe more endearing to him is just that he's got so many familiar connections to this team. I mean, being on the bench for one of the worst seasons, but from that to joining the team as a color commentator, he's just bled Teal his entire professional career, and he loves this organization. He loves this team. It's time for the team to show him some love back. You know what I mean? I don't know why he was let go in the first place. We know why, but honestly, the guy has just been such a good soldier for the team, and he's always stayed a fan, even when he was on the Oilers broadcast.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing that the Oilers complained about him. Like Kevin's saying, it's still funny to me that the Sharks love him for all the reasons that Oiler fans hate him. Perhaps also should have been the Oilers owner. But and the quote here that AJ putting in there, and thank you for the quotes, AJ. But the thing is that this is right from an interview he had. He's like, how can I praise the team with any credibility if I can't treat them honestly? And that tell it like it is. Being a coach, I think I saw like a number of times on Twitter today. It's like Drew showed us how. I mean, he had that coaching mentality, you know, of showing how plays work. And you usually don't see that on the broadcast. And I think that's what
he was a wizard with the telestrator. Eric, you remember he would mark up right as the highlights were coming to us on, you know, right as they were feeding us on the goal. You know, he'd whip out his yellow pen and be like, okay, you know what, Mark-Edouard Vlasic, what the hell are you doing there? Or you know, whoever it may be, Dan Boyle, why'd you pass that puck into your own net? But you know what I mean? He was just interactive. He was a teacher, and yet he had that ability to teach without being condescending.
Right.
And that Canadian voice just lent so much more credence to the telecast.
Right. Yeah. So I it's great to see him. I think it's only going to be on for 5 more broadcasts, but it's great to see Drew kind of back in the fold. You know, so I love it. You know, love to see it. And Brody's excited for him too. I know they were trying to battle their dimples, but I love the chirps on pregame. So, but we appreciate everybody joining us on our post-game show here on Teal Town After Dark. Amazingly to see, you know, with everything going on, over 56 people watching, 57 people watching, 41 likes. Appreciate the donations for the reach around. Okay, that seems weird, but you know.
Oh yeah, you just gotta tease it just that little bit, because you did get the 40.
Yeah,
but you don't get the full thing.
Right. So
because you're late to the party.
In case you missed anything, you're going to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Of course, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to notify you when we go on live on the air. SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, everywhere looking for a podcast, we are on there. Just search for us. And of course, always available at tealtownusa.com. So as we said, the Sharks will be back. Same bat time, same bat channel. And you can come to here for your post-game, the same bat YouTube channel.
Same bad post-game. You'll get it.
Bat, B-A-T, not B-A-D. Back here about the same time tomorrow as the Sharks try to go for 2 in a row. 2 in a row?
Oh,
What? That'd be huge. And if I was looking at the standings correctly, if they were to win tomorrow and things fall as they may, they would only be 2 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's how crazy this season could be. And I will say this, Randy Hahn did mention this on the pregame show. It's like the NHL quietly added a points percentage slot into the standings page. So considering everything that's going on, Minnesota's on lockdown. You got a Colorado's on lockdown. Buffalo is super pissed about New Jersey being on lockdown right now, including Ralph Kuhre, their coach, being getting positive for COVID-19. One quick super chat donation in John for $5. Appreciate you, bud. Thank you. You really enjoyed Drew. I thought that meant really enjoyed you, but hey, we'll appreciate that either way. So with that, we'll get out of here. Landy, good to see you, bud. Your final thoughts on where the people can find you.
Final thoughts are that got to find the consistency somewhere, boys. Come on now.
Yeah.
As far as where you can find me, well, I've got a little bit of thing to a pimp here. I have been appearing on the Genuine Draft with Roe. That's
Roe.
Yes, that's Romeo Oscar Hotel for you. But yeah, check it out. The Genuine Draft with Roe. And he's trying to like rope me to be one of his co-hosts. And it's like, yeah, Landy's doing the Sharks hits over there for Roe. So check it out. If you guys love Bay Area sports, he's covering all the sports. We went over the Giants. We went over some Warriors talk. And Landy's repping the Teal. And he's also
better be.
said that he wants he also wants more of the Teal Town boys over there too. So yeah, some cross pollination. Everybody go check it out. Thank you very much. As far as where you can find me, I'm on Twitter at Erik Landi, on all the social media garbage using my first name, that's Erik, last name Landi.
All right, thank you. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. One thing before we go, we've been talking about all this, Drew, and honestly, we love seeing all this love for Drew Weber. Yes, absolutely. We love Drew.
Where is that guy?
I believe he's in New York, and we need to kidnap him for the near future. I miss him because it's like, I miss that guy. John, thank you very much, bud. We appreciate you too, Eric and Erik. Thank you. Again, we'll be back tomorrow night following Sharks and Ducks, hoping to go 2 in a row. And I appreciate you all. Until then, the conversation might be continue on the Discord. But first, we need to call our girlfriends. Until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow night.